my name is Huang. In this video, I will talk about the privacy in blockchain. First, let's talk about privacy. Privacy is actually a fundamental rights, constitutional rights of everyone. As you know, in US, there is First Amendment talking about the privacy, and also in Privacy Act continue further on the privacy needs and regulation as well. So in this talk, I will just define what is privacy in the blockchain. Basically, in blockchain, the privacy means the transaction sender and the receiver, and also the transaction amount should be hidden, should not be in the public. So that's usually the privacy requirement that most of the privacy coin or privacy protocol is doing. So by this definition, some top 10 blockchain or coin in the coin market cap does not really meet this requirement. Take example, Bitcoin and Ethereum. You know the address, the public address of the sender and the receiver. You know how much coin is sent from one to another. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and all the top coins in the coin market cap, they are pseudo-anonymous. Basically means that all the transactions open, but the address, who is behind this public address, is unknown. So it's keeping a little bit of anonymity, but it's not fully anonymous. Every address, like if I send you my address for you to send me Bitcoin, and from then on, my address is known to you. You can see every transaction from the past and from the future on this address. This is one thing. Another thing is through the big data analysis, behavior analysis, it's very possible that someone, some agency or government agency or some companies can basically decipher who is behind that address. That happens for good reason with Mt. Gox. As you know, the Mt. Gox, as the first Bitcoin exchange, get bankrupted because of the security breach. So eventually that one, the thief was caught because of some behavior analysis on the address, on his Bitcoin address. So this is only one example, but there's lots of examples. People basically can decipher who is behind the Bitcoin address if there's some frequent transactions. And even the hierarchical deterministic wallet, the idea of HD wallet is every time it can generate the different address given the same private key. But even with that, there's a way that people can decipher the people behind it. So for this reason, there is a need for the privacy coin. Without endorse those projects or coins, I give some examples of a coin currently in the market. The first one is Monero. Monero's idea is the same, is trying to basically encrypt the address of both the sender and the receiver, and the amount is sent. So the exact technique it uses is to using the stealth address, basically hiding the address or one-time address, using the one-time address to hide the sender's address. So if I send you the Monero, you give me your address, and I will send you Monero. But that Monero is using just one-time generated address. So the stealth address is able to basically encrypt or protect the sender's address. So it's not public. And also it's using what is called the ring signature. Basically the idea of the ring signature is to mix a whole bunch of signatures, so you don't know whose address it is, whose private key signed the transaction. So it's using the ring signature to really hide the sender's address. So stealth address is encrypted the receiver's address, and the ring signature is hide the sender's address, and then the amount which is transferred between the sender and the receiver is encrypted by the what is called the ring signatures, ring CT, right? The confidential transaction. So using this three kind of technology, and also using different kind of mining algorithm called crypto night algorithm, it has built its own reputation as a privacy coin. Another one is also kind of like Monero. It's using coin join and other techniques to hide the address of the transaction parties, and also the amount is dash. And after that, people may know Zcash, which is using zero knowledge proof. So in small kind of scope, zero address is basically I can prove to you who am I without revealing to you who any details about myself. So it's basically I can prove what is true or not true without giving you any knowledge. So it's zero knowledge proof. So it's basically used by true or false. So it basically say if it's zero or not, or ranging proof, if it's between which range. So that is really useful also in hiding the sender's address, the receiver's address, and also the transaction amount. So zero knowledge was very popular when it's launched. It used to be has multiple times more expensive than Bitcoin when it's launched, and so gradually it's get to its current price. There is issues with the algorithm to use. Currently, it's called ZK Snark. The idea of ZK Snark is basically to need initial trusted setup. So you have to have a centralized party to have an initial setup. Then you can use zero knowledge. But what if someone holds this master key? Then every transaction he can decipher it. So there is a ceremony with a zero knowledge or Zcash community to destroy this private key, but it's really hard to know if it's destroyed or not, because it's really a central party doing it. So in Ethereum there is some algorithm called ZK Stack. It's basically in terms of memory and process, it's improved a little bit, and also it does not need a trust setup. So that one potentially will be used by Zcash and also used by Ethereum 2.0 or 3.0 because Vitalik is really talking a lot about this, about the ZK stacks as well. So that's zero knowledge proof. Recently, there is a private coin gain a lot of traction from the community. It's called Green, GRIN. It's basically has a Harry Potter's kind of story behind it. The one who wrote the white paper about the security protocol or encryption protocol called Mimble Wimble, has the name Voldemort. Voldemort, as you know, is a character in Harry Potter. So he wrote this white paper, and he disappeared. And some initial core developers on the Mimble Wimble or the Green project